When my best ain't enough, I wanna rest, but I'm too tough. My body's aching for sleep without disturbing dreams. My mask is showing its cracks, a broken smile intact. I'm good at playing pretend around both strangers and friends. I'm stuck on an endless merry-go-round. A cyclone of racing thoughts that never stop. And I just wanna feel better, but I can't get out of my head. I don't know what I'll do instead. I just wanna feel better. Will it always be this way? Am I doomed? Is this my fate? My depression, it sucks out all the joy of what I love. Ravenous black hole consuming all that I know. I could scream my lungs dry, punch through walls till I cry. Bloody knuckles, red eyes, oh my. I'm stuck on an endless merry-go-round. A cyclone of racing thoughts that never stop. And I just wanna feel better, but I can't get out of my head. I don't know what I'll do instead. I just wanna feel better. Will it always be this way? Am I doomed? Is this my fate? I just wanna feel better. I just wanna feel better. I just wanna feel better, but I can't get out of my head. I don't know what I'll do instead. I just wanna feel better. Will it always be this way? Am I doomed? Is this my fate? I just wanna feel better. I just wanna feel better. I just wanna feel better. Will it always be this way? Am I doomed? Is this my fate?
Ooh, yeah. God, that's such a good freaking
Okay, my sound
song.
isn't working.
Uh-oh. God, really? I mean, jeez.
I have to exit out. I'll be back. My sound is not
All right,
working.
no worries. No worries, Blaze. We'll see you here in a sec. Oh, Chaka, what's up, man? Benji. But anyway, that is by far my favorite song that we have in our arsenal here. That was "I Just Want to Feel Better" by Jules and the How. But it is Monday night. Welcome to Men Caring for Men on the Nonsensical Network. My name is Connor. Blaze will be back up here in a second. If you haven't yet, go check us out on all social medias around Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever the heck you want to call that. Instagram, all the fun things. Go check us out. Click bio.link/nonsensical network. Give us a like, give us a follow, and if you would be so kind, give us a share. Tell your friends about us, and we would love to have you up here. Comment section is always open. I am going to go ahead and drop the link. We do have an open panel. We prefer to keep it as men, but call it X Twitter. But we do welcome one and all to come join in the conversation and add to add to the interesting things that we speak about. Blaze, do you
I
have
always
audio?
I do. My audio is working now. I always appreciate a woman's perspective on things.
I agree. And actually that's interesting that you brought that up. I'm trying to start putting together things for having a show on Monday night where the significant others in our lives, I don't know if Blaze has one or not, but the significant others and the women in our lives come up here and talk about. Go ahead.
Oh, so no, I am a bachelor. I am no significant other except righty and lefty.
Oh, you actually use lefty? That's impressive. Or do you just do it once? Sorry.
Ambidextrous. Anyway.
It feels like a mummy's doing it if I use my left. But yeah, I'm trying to put together something where we have some women come up here and talk about how the men in their lives, their mental health affects them and the people around them, instead of only hearing from our perspective.
I think that'd be cool.
It's too slow in the process. I feel that, Benji. I feel that. It definitely delays my 2 to 5 minute time frame to like 10 to 20, and I don't have that kind of time. A little bit too busy. Blaze, how's your week been?
Good. I don't know if you already covered the merchandise.
I did not. Why don't you tell them where they can find it? Honestly, I always forget.
Yeah. It's on. I have to bring it up, but I just wanted to point out my hat finally came in. Check it out.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize that's what that was.
Yeah.
Dude,
so you can get yourself a hat just like this at nonsensical-nonsense.myspreadshot.com / get yourself a hat, a hoodie. Winter is coming up. It is definitely hoodie season.
Dang good looking.
Yes, sir.
You're darn tootin'. We've got a whole lot more merch on that shop. We got hoodies, we got hats, we got t-shirts. I don't know if we have like anything pants wise yet.
Remember, guys, it is holiday season, so expect all shipments to slow down to about 6 weeks. No, seriously, about a week. This hat was about a week late.
I gotta say it, just not here. Spread us on you at our merch store.
Spread us onto you. Yes.
Benji reminded me of his catchphrase. I had to use it. But Blaze, what's your past week been like? I always ask people how their week is, and they're like, "Oh, it's fucking Monday." So how has
past week was pretty good. My weekend was pretty chill, relaxing. It was kind of we had one day of sunny weather, and I spent it a little bit outside, and the other day was cloudy and ucky, and I spent it inside watching TV. So, yeah, nothing to complain about.
Nothing eventful really happens in Blaze's life. He just drives around, does college stuff, and smokes weed, man.
Pretty much.
Honestly,
no,
he's living.
So I did take a step back from college after the first semester. It was overwhelming for me. Yeah, it was. I was having like literal panic attacks, and my anxiety was through the roof, and I had to change my prescriptions. It was a little nutty time, but I am better. I took a step back, and I'm trying not to be disappointed in myself, but it is what it is.
Dude, sometimes that's what you have to do. I mean, you got to listen to. Listen to yourself, and you have to listen to your body and what your brain's telling you. And if you don't, you end up in situations like that. Man. I'm also doing school right now, and the last like 2 weeks has ramped up our work has ramped up significantly. And I haven't found myself getting into like panicky or anxiety or anything like that. I honestly, it's been almost calming to have something to do outside of cleaning the fucking house.
I think for me it was a part of it being online and having to be to force socialize someone like me to online. It's like I like socializing online, but not from an academic standpoint. And it was sort of that because it was online classes. So I had to engage, not just on an academic level, but just engage with the other class as if we were going to class every day. And it was like, you have to make time for that because you're kind of graded on it. I was like, I can't, it's driving me nuts. You know, it was part of that. It was the whole isolation thing because I'm basically just on my own. And that's that wasn't so much the problem itself. It was, I don't know. Maybe because I'm from a generation where classes were always inside a classroom, that this online situation just was too much for me as a person to take on in an academic way. I mean, I've done correspondence before when I was in the military, but you know, I'd go to the library and do my studying.
It's a different animal.
Yeah.
For furthering your education when it comes to that. I mean,
and there was some communication issues, keeping in contact with the instructors because you know they're supposed to get back a hold of you within like 48 hours, and a lot of that didn't happen. So it was just too much. So I was like, but it is not a problem.
I'm running into an issue right now. I've got for you uneducated people like me. I just found out like a few weeks ago that Comp 1 and 2 are essentially the same class, but slightly different. And both of them are.
Oh,
you get 2 fingers.
Yeah, I was just about.
Oh yeah, is that Benj?
Yeah, that's Benji.
Why does Benj look?
I was just about to say I do physical activity, but it's also it's a mental thing with me from other stuff. What is that noise?
I think that's
a chair, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I can get some help for this guy.
Get you that WD-40, big man.
That's what it sounded like.
Benji, it's good to see you up here on a Monday night, dude. I think, is this a first?
Possibly. Maybe I've done one more. I can't quite remember.
I don't think you've ever been up here while I've been on here, I should say.
Maybe one time, but I can't quite remember. I prefer to keep you guys guessing when I'll come up.
Fair.
I'll take it, man. It's good to have you on.
Yeah.
I always look forward to seeing you on Jeff's Garage if there's ever Jeff's Garage.
Yeah, if there's ever another episode.
He said there was going to be something on the 28th. I'm waiting for him to send me something. So I'm not quite sure.
He was telling me. I just wanted to take a low swipe at Jeff. Sorry about that. Not to veer off too much. I deserve
the swipe too, though, right? Because I'm the one that kind of disappeared when I was traveling from Raleigh to Charlotte to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, you were on the road working. I feel that.
Yeah,
I get that.
I kind of pulled the hey, let's not do that so much with the company. I said, that's because between Raleigh and Charlotte, dude, it's 7.5 to 8 hour drive, and
damn,
it's not fun, man. It's not fun.
From Charlotte to Raleigh?
No, from Raleigh to Atlanta. Sorry.
I was like, listen, dude, I used to live in South Carolina. If that took you 7 hours, you might need to think it over.
So where I stay at in Charlotte to where the company is, and it's in Marietta, Georgia, it was just under 6 hours, even from there. And when I say Charlotte, I stay in South Charlotte, like way South Charlotte. And it's like, fuck me, dude. This is a ride. It's like, this is not fun. This is not at all what I signed up for. But it's growing pains, right, with the company. But you just so that's kind of why I disappeared for a little while. It was a crazy amount of travel, like to the point where I had to say something to the companies like, "Hey, we got to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. This is even too much for me." And I'm a pretty big giver to a company. I make a really good living. And even that was like, oh, come on, guys, this is even too much for me. This is way lopsided. I'm at my house, who I pay a ton of money for, like less than 14 days a month. And it's like, this is not cool. But
have you at hotel rooms and shit on the road?
When I go to Charlotte, no, I just stay at my parents' house. And again, I try to do that for the company. I try to be as much of a company man as possible because I am grateful and thankful for the money I make, right? So I'm just like, hey, I'll save you guys, a few $100 a month or every time we go down, because I was going down twice a week. And I'll stay at my parents. It gives me a chance to see them, blah blah blah. Because the house they built is the house I grew up in, kind of late teenage years. So I didn't stay in it very long. So they have all this extra room in the house that isn't being used, and it's good because I haven't lived near my parents in going on 3 years. So it's I've always been right at the 3 to 4 hour mark away. So it's like, okay, if I can go down every couple of weeks and see my parents, because they're they're getting into their 60s and hanging out, doing some stuff with my mom, hanging out with my stepdad. He's cool. My stepdad's actually been on the show one time. It's kind of cool, but it'll go like I'll do like a month to where I don't go down. Like I'm not going down. I haven't been since early November, and I won't go back down until mid-December. So there's breaks, but it was just travel, come home for like a minuscule amount of time, and then gone for 7 or 8 days, come home for a minute, then gone for 7, 8 days. It's like, fuck this. I was like, this is too much. So I just kind of had to push stop on the Jeff's Garage. It was just, I wasn't in one place long enough to say, hey, I can consistently do this.
And I've actually tried doing the show from the car one time just to see if it was practical, and it's really not.
No,
it's
not.
tough,
It's,
man. Because I'm dealing with hotel internet, and it's terrible at the very best. So
I'm
getting a little lag on my side, so apologize on my behalf.
Yeah, I'm not running into issues. I think
it's on my side.
Yeah, but back when Glick did Monday nights and Wednesday nights by himself, when it was just Jeff and Glick, I would come up on Monday nights or Wednesday nights back when we were in El Paso, and I would just talk to Glick while I was in the car or something or driving around. And I'd just be on my phone. I wouldn't even use my laptop. And the difference between like that and sitting down in an office by myself with my laptop and decent internet most of the time, God willing, it's night and fucking day.
Sure, but I mean, it really takes the fun out of texting and driving, though.
It's not fun unless your life is at risk.
Correct. So usually I try to drive in a center lane, closing my eyes while speeding.
That's why you belong on Jeff's Garage, because they're perfect for each other.
Yep. Well, cool.
Awesome.
Benji, I mean, I feel like we just got a lowdown on the past couple of months. How's your week been?
Pretty mellow, man. Because so kind of what I do, I am GM of crawl space operations for North Carolina, which includes Raleigh and Charlotte, and I kind of sort of slightly took over Atlanta, but I don't go to Atlanta. I just did the one trip, and then I was like, that's got to be done. I can't be over 3 areas when my pay didn't go up and the workload added more. Like that doesn't make sense. However, I'm still over Atlanta because I send my crew there and I have to answer any and all questions and solve problems immediately, right? So no, the workload's been pretty good because I don't really do installs because I've been doing this stuff for at this point it's double-digit years.
Damn, you're old.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm trying my best to get there, right? Because when you stay the same is when there's an issue. So I'm trying to get there. So the workload's pretty well. I hung out with the owner today, and we just looked at a bunch of warehouses, and I went and fixed a plumbing leak real quick, and came home and it's cracked open a cold beer by 2:00. So no complaints.
You see this paycheck here? It'd be really cool if there was another zero there.
You know what's so funny? January 2nd, there's going to be another zero there.
Hell yeah!
Yep.
Nice.
I negotiated that in, and my wife is going to get a significant raise. She works for the company as well. So her and I worked for a $24 million company, and then we went out on our own, and then we ran a company that was a couple $1 million. So this company was like, hey, I need you to come and run all of our stuff for us that's on my side. And and then I came in, and what they were doing they were doing about 2 crawl spaces a month, and we're doing about 2 crawl spaces a week. So
That's
you
a
could-
significant uptick
Yeah.
in production.
yeah, so I'm all about efficiency and running as lean as possible. And they're like, well, we're cool breaking even for a little while, so we're going to pay you a boatload of money, and you can keep doing whatever you're doing.
Hey, man,
Hell
if
yeah.
you need an assistant, I love the Carolinas.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
saying.
Pretty good week so far. Yeah, so I'm
If
looking forward to January.
If you need a photographer for any reason, let me know.
Yeah,
Or a
God, are you
security
down here in North
specialist.
Carolina? You're way up. You're up north, right? You're like or something.
I'm in Kentucky.
He's more southern than I
I'm
am.
actually from Kentucky. I was born in Kentucky.
Mhm.
I was born in.
I think we've talked about this, where you're on the Lexington side of the Kentucky, right?
All the way on the river.
Oh, I love Lexington.
Okay. All right.
Lexington's gorgeous.
I was the same hospital as George. No. Who's the big actor? George Clooney. Same hospital as him. That's where I was born.
Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence.
No, George.
I thought you were
George
going to say
Clooney's
George
parents.
Floyd. And I was like, that was an interesting famous person to go off.
Yeah,
of.
There's
so-
actually, surprisingly
and,
enough, there's actually a.
myself-
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say there's actually a few celebrities that are from Kentucky. Jennifer Lawrence being one. That's the first one that popped in my mind. So yeah,
Yeah,
if you
see,
need a
I'm-
hype man,
My man's always
Chaka's your
great.
guy. Dude, Chaka's a G, dude. Chaka will come on.
So speaking of Kentucky, I want to do a bourbon. Done one?
the Bourbon Trail. I've been on that.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, dude,
Which
come on
ones
down.
have
Let's
you-
fucking hit that up. Oh, this was
Yeah,
a while
I'd
ago.
have to come up,
I did
but
the
yeah.
I did the Jim Beam. I did the Maker's Mark. I've been to where they do Angels Envy, and a couple other ones. It's been a while. I've been wanting to do it again and hit some more. This was like when in my young 20s, the first time I hit it, and now that I'm like, in my late 40s, like I can appreciate it more now. I'm not going there just for the woohoo, let's get drunk, So
Yeah, I want to do the Buffalo Trace. Problem is that I don't really care for horses, and that they're tied in with horses, and I'm just like, fuck that. So I don't want to do.
they are.
There's the Wellers is a really good one because they involve guns, and then and it's like, dude, perfect. I want to shoot as many guns as possible and then go drink.
There you go. And then there's since I went, there's a whole lot more new distilleries out over the last few couple of decades because of the rise in popularity of bourbon that I also want to go hit. Sorry, I am tongue tied. I don't usually do Monday nights. So
Yeah, no, I definitely need to. I'll try to figure out how to get up. Oh, that's right. I'll get up with you and try to figure out some time to go up there when it's going to be a lot less, because I don't go up north at all because I'm anti-snow. I don't like
fair
cold
enough,
weather
dude.
at all. Since I moved
I'll,
away from up there, I don't want any part of it.
whenever Glick does a live from the axe throwing place up in Newark, I'll go up there and do it live with him. But I told him during the winters, as soon as the snow hits the ground, I do not travel. I stay safe in my. I stay safe in my area. So
I don't blame you, man. I really don't blame you. Yeah, we'll have to get up, man, because I definitely want to do a bourbon. I like bourbon. Buffalo Trace stuff and the Basil Hayden stuff is my favorite, but Weller's is third.
The best time to come up and do that is in September when they're doing that bourbon festival and they're doing like live concerts and shit, like all one fell swoop. That's it's sort of like, I forgot what it's called, the bourbon and beyond. Look that up, Bourbon and Beyond.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, because I know my brother wants to be involved in it, and my stepdad said he wants to. And my stepdad has a buddy from Italy that he likes to do freaking things, and we can definitely go up there and have a quite a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Nonsensical bourbon show.
Does he still live in Italy? by
He
chance?
lives here with his wife, and I've met him several times. I got a new drive it because it's from his neck of the woods. So I just got to down in the same time as he's going to be around. I was
Yeah.
supposed to go a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, I don't really feel like driving 2 hours. So yeah, but yeah, I'll have to get up with you because I want to do and I want to shoot some guns and I want to drink some, bourbon.
There you go. That's
You wanna
Kentucky's the perfect place for that.
If you want to
It
shoot
really
some
is.
guns, make a stop in Tennessee. Let me know when you're there. I've got a buddy who's got 10 acres out
Where
there.
are you like? You don't have to be specific, but where are you located in Tennessee? I absolutely love Nashville.
I'm not in Tennessee. I'm in southern Indiana on the river.
Okay. Okay.
But my former combat medic buddy Chase lives down in just south of Nashville, like an hour and a half south of Nashville. Well,
Okay.
southwest, because you can't go an hour and a half south without ending up in another state. But, his adopted dad has 10 acres out there, and we went out there and we shot guns for like 3 fucking hours, just us, and
Oh
just
shit, yeah.
you don't have to worry about
That's
brass. You shoot whatever the hell you want. You just fucking tear it up. But you let me know, dude.
Nashville, when you go like south and east and a little bit like northeast, dude, those are like fantastic fucking areas of Nashville. Like, holy areas are brilliant.
I've never got a chance to really explore Nashville. I've driven through it a few times back when I lived in South Carolina. I got tired of driving 77. But I've spent most of my time out like Collinwood, which is out in the middle of the boonies. And I love the country out there where it's nothing but trees and open space, and then more trees and forests, and there's nothing to do out there other than screw around, drink, and have fun and shoot guns.
It's so fun, man.
Yeah.
I told my I was just like, if you guys open, I told the owner of the company, I said, if you guys open up Nashville or at least around that area, I'm in to go. No state income tax check, and that affects someone like me, right? And it's not like I make $15 an hour, so it's huge plus. But I've done a bunch of work out in Nashville, and there's so many crawl spaces in that. Money is crazy diverse out there, and it's a different place. And I really like it out there. There's celebrity money, and people think like when I say celebrity, they're gonna think like, oh, Nashville is music, and it's like, no, like that's only
there's
part. There's
celebrity
like
money.
some really big celebrity money out there.
Out in Central Oregon, there's a lot of celebrity money. One celebrity that gets ran into quite often out there is Rainn Wilson. Like, he's got a place out there.
It's so funny because my company, they had a branch out in Oregon, and it's so unfriendly to new businesses. It didn't even last that long. They were like, "Nope, we're out." I was like, "It's just beyond unfriendly." Oh, they just said Oregon in general. They were like, we're out, because one of the owners actually lived in Oregon, hunter and fisher. So he loved it out there, and then he had to move over here to North Carolina, and was just like, quite a big, or not now.
Culture shock?
Yeah, because I think it was pretty rough on him. He's been out here for almost 5 years now, but he's just like, I don't have all the hunting I can do that I did over there.
Yeah.
It's so unfriendly for new businesses. There was just tax.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's
the outdoors is so the outdoors are so easy to access also to go do all that stuff. Like where I'm at in Kentucky, like, sure, there's places I can go walk my dogs, but there's no places where I can let my dogs off the leash and just go. Can't find a place like that. Like in Oregon, there was so many places I could do that. And there's the outdoors are so much more easily accessible. It's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of it's so weird because that's kind of the situation my wife and I are in. So where we live currently, Raleigh, like we live south of Raleigh, because we have like a situation going on. It's like we want to buy about like 2026, right? We're still
Yeah.
new to Raleigh, and it is. Oh my God, dude! This place is brilliant. There's always something going. Of
Raleigh's
course, it's
amazing.
the capital, so there's always something going on here, and I really like one town. I kind of want a little bit of an older home because I don't mind a little bit of a fixer upper because I can customize it. But the older
Hmm.
homes, if I live in town, they'll have a little bit of land, right? Because grandfathered into this stuff, so I could build like this, like 3-car garage that's really tall, and I could do like scissor lifts or whatever in them. So then I can get 6 cars in them, or do I go
Hmm.
out to like a little, say like 20 to 30 minutes outside of town, and then I own a bunch of guns and a bunch of land. It's kind of like, what do I do? What do I do?
Build yourself a
So
pole
we're
barn
kind
out
of
there.
we're kind of figuring out because I'm super big, but I also really like guns.
Yeah. Hmm.
How come I got a
So
yeehaw,
we're
but he didn't? Fuck you, Blaze.
Oh no,
That's
I'm
funny.
sitting here thinking. I was like, where I live, I can go out. I can go out my back door and go shooting.
I can go
I
out
used
my
to
front
do-
door
I
and
used
go
to live in a
shoot.
place-
Yeah.
I used to live
But
in a place where I could literally bring out my Mosin Nagant. That was always fun to shoot for about 5 rounds, and it's like you put it up. And then my AR, loved that. I used to build AK-47s, but I was shooting, dude, like no lie, shooting, it was like 40 AKs a day, and then it just got to the point where it's just like I really just don't feel like shooting, right? Because shooting's supposed to be fun, but it was not. And I was just like, yeah, but I've shot all day long, and
yeah.
and then with my job, I have to really be located conveniently to interstates because I have to
Mhm.
travel, within a certain radius and a certain amount of time. And now I've just gotten the conveniences, and now I'm getting into a point to where I can afford some. It's no big deal to afford a $900 gun. Now I'm getting into where I can maybe afford a bigger car. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I've had the $900 guns. Maybe it's time for me to be able to afford a 6-figure car and then go have some fun with that and still have all the conveniences because I can't drive a 6-figure car. I literally drive a 2018 Chevy or a GMC 100 or whatever it is. That's
I
what I
was gonna
drive.
say, see the Chevy Impala behind you.
There's no Impala.
What? It,
That's not an Impala. That's
oh, I
an
thought that
almost
was.
6-figure car right there. Yeah, that's the wife's car. Yeah,
that looked like that
that's
the Impala logo that they always put on the back, that back panel.
I think
That was
this one
cool.
from brand new was like 93 or 94,000.
What is it?
It's pretty cool. What's that?
What is it?
Oh, it's a Model Q SQ4
I
V6
wouldn't call that
twin
an Impala
turbo.
ever again.
It's super fun. We only drive it on the weekends. And then I also only drive my Jeep Wrangler was it Jeep Wrangler Sports every once in a while. So I have cars I don't because I don't make money in them. So I have to make money in my work truck, right? So it's kind of weird. So I figured if we live in town with all the conveniences, and I can
Hold on,
still
you
buy
don't drive
guns,
your
I'm pretty
cars
good.
because you can't make money driving them? I'm confused.
Yeah, well, because I'm always in my work vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my
Oh, I
wife.
see
Oh,
what you
yeah. I
mean.
guess I should
I
say
see
that
what you
too.
mean.
My wife
Okay.
is a
Yeah, because
remote
you're always
worker.
in it. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. My
you
wife
just
is a
don't drive
remote
them just for
worker,
the
so
enjoyment of driving them?
yeah, we go to we do a bunch of cars and coffees, and we'll go do well, we don't really grocery, so we'll go to like Walmart. So like she'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I want a blah blah blah," and it's like, "Okay, well let's jump in the Maserati," and then we'll go. Just because my thing is I don't want a car sitting for more than 14 days, and after 14 days, it's kind of
Yeah.
like what I mean, because these are high end cars, and they don't do so much. They don't do back them up sometimes after
Hmm.
sitting for so long because there's so many electronics on. So my thing is if you go to the end of the neighborhood and do a complete loop and you do a half a mile trip in it, it has to be drove once every 14. Like that's my only kind of, staple. It's like this has to be done because I don't need a $300 battery
Yeah.
when you could do a little over half a mile trip, 48 cents in gas.
Fair.
Yeah. But yes, I don't know, man. So I got to figure out where I want to live, and my wife and I are kind of figured out because we rent the place we're in, and we really like the place we live, but we have no front yard, no backyard, no side yard. We have kind of, but man, this place is really awesome. We really like our neighbors and all that jazz. Well, that's enough about me, man.
Oh no.
What about you, Connor? How was your?
I love it, dude.
Yes,
you're
Connor.
talking-
How's your
like,
week been?
Benji's like already talking about what I wanted to talk about later, man. Like I love it. His life is stopping and smelling the roses. I love it. But I mean, my week has been how it's been for the last like couple months or so. I've been busy parenting and cleaning and doing schoolwork and putting in. Well, now that I have a job, I'm getting stuff set up to start next week. And
you have a
getting
job. What is
everything
your
together.
job that you have?
Just got a job working at the Evansville Library down here, doing security for them just part time because I've got college and other shit I got to get done. So working for them part time. What's that?
What does officer do at a library?
It's more so like a public safety kind of deal. So you're in charge of, say, making sure that all the AD machines work, making sure that everything's locked up, making sure that you're going to be a what would you how would you call
Making
it?
sure the non-fictions and the non-fiction and the fictions. And
That's more of a librarian job. I just got to make sure that the people who think that nonfiction is fiction don't steal the nonfiction books. And just making sure that unruly customers get the fuck out. And
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, at the end of the day, I tell you what's more what I gather from that, and this is outside looking in, is I know you spend a pretty fair amount of time. I don't comment on this in the comments, but I'm always kind of like lurking, right? And getting a job to the house so you can be Connor is big time, right? Because you get to be Connor.
Fucking huge.
Dad, you don't get to be husband. You don't get to be anything. You get to be a
I
real
don't have
human
to be the
being.
maid. I don't have to be the cook.
Yep.
I don't have to be dad. I love my wife more than most things in the world.
Yep.
But I don't have to be husband. That's absolutely right. And I mean, that's why my wife was kind of against me getting a job just because I've got so much college shit going on. I'm trying to get all that done as fast as I can. So I'm like, maybe I can add another class here. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do this extracurricular on the side and join this group so that I can get more connections in the public safety field. Just like, dude, I'm going fucking crazy inside this house. I stare at the same four walls all goddamn day long, and I'm losing my mind. And so having just like a part-time job where I can work 4 or 5 days a week, 3 days a week, and do 4 or 5 hour shifts, and just get out of the house and do something that I enjoy is huge, because my stress level since I got out of the military has gone up and up and up and up and up. And I gotta say this, fucking, for all you stay-at-home parents out there, I have so much fucking respect for you now. Like, I thought I had respect for you before, but like, I feel that shit. My wife was a stay-at-home mom for 3 years while I was in the Army, and she constantly, especially while I was deployed, I'm losing my mind. I'm gonna end up on a grippy socks vacation, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you'll be fine. You don't have to do anything all day. Like, all you do is take care of the kids. You go to the park and eat food, and I go do all the work. Well, now I'm staying at home, and I'm like, oh shit, this is what she was fucking talking about. She gets home from work, and I'm like losing
mentally,
my mind.
you have like ADHD at all?
What's that?
Do you have like ADHD at all?
100% yes.
See, so it's completely different. So she doesn't have ADHD, so I have it. So it works best in chaos, right? So when there's like 6 problems going on, I'm solving one while working on the other. So for me to stay at home, I'm like, you're better off taking me out back and just shooting me. Like
Yeah.
there's no way my brain can comprehend doing like mundane bullshit all day long. Like I have some type of chaos going on that I can immediately solve.
Yep. The
And
the the
you're
repetition
right.
the repetition is terrible. It's terrible. I discipline my kids for the same thing over and over and over again. I clean the dishes 4 or 5 times a week. I do the laundry 3 times a week. I sweep the floors 12 times a day because the kids don't know how to not make a mess because they're still young.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I mean, holy fuck, man, can I get something new? My wife's like, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed with between college, being a stay-at-home dad, and trying to work all at the same time and trying to figure out all this stuff. And I'm like, I love multitasking. Let me do it.
Yeah.
Give me something else to do that is, as long as it's not the same repetitive thing in the same place every single day, we're good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
so it's so cool that you mentioned that. So from 18 to like my late 20s warehousing, and I always got like ridiculously stupid good at my jobs, right? I
Mhm.
like plateaued and I hated them and I end up quitting or end up fucking up somehow and end up getting fired. And I'm like, why can I not figure out if I like something so much, why am I struggling good that why I just can't seem to hold it or I lose interest. So what I'm doing is I went into construction and I got really freaking good at it, right? But what
Yeah.
changes almost between 1 and 3 days is so I'm constantly doing the same thing but at different locations.
Yeah.
That's what changed, and and then I got really freaking good at it. Now I don't have to do the install, so I can work at multiple addresses, through my like my phone or my wife's computer, and I can order, I can do they're going, I can look at pictures. So in my head, this is like the best thing possible for me. I love it.
100%. 100%. And I worked at Abercrombie with Glick for a little over a year, and we did security, and it was unarmed security. I'm not like standing at the front gate like, but it was mostly like first aid calls. There's always something going on. There's an incident report. You got to patrol. You got to deal with truckers. I mean, and yes, it's irritating, but it's irritating on a fun level, and it's primarily a chill job. And so I'm like, when I did my interview with the library, I'm like, so is this the only campus you guys have? Is this job position only for this campus? What does a day in the life look like? And they ran through it and they're like, well, we have 7 different campuses throughout a 40-mile radius. And she's like, you will go to each one of these campuses throughout the week, sometimes throughout the day, if you're the only person on shift. And I'm like, I'll sign on the dotted line. I'm there. Like, let's
I completely agree with everything you're saying because my brain would be like, thank God.
Yes. I don't have to stare at the same 4 walls. And it's like, so I worked for Chase before I started working at Abercrombie. I worked for Chase Bank as an overdraft collections specialist. And that was the most miserable job I've ever had in my life, period, bar none. And I was in a little fucking 4x4 cubicle with 300 other people on my floor in my little quote office. And you sat there and you took somewhere between 200 and 400 calls a day, all about the same shit. And you stare at this fucking wall and this computer for 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm like, dude, I don't understand how you people do this. I think I lasted like 6 months.
It'd make me want to fucking
so funny.
commit suicide, unfortunately.
You can do that. Like, there's no way. Like, he's into computers. He's into, to me, pretty rough job, right? Like, if I get down in it and I feel like doing an install, there's no bathrooms, there's no heat, cooling, there's no nothing, right? It's dick in the dirt. You're disgusting. Crawling on me, mice falling on me, fucking spiders crawling on me, like all the disgusting stuff. And I'm like, ear to ear. I'm like, this is what I do. And
I hate it, but I love it.
same time, dude, if you told me I had to go sit in a cubicle for 8 hours for one day, I'm like, you done lost your fucking mind. There's no possible way I would ever voluntarily in my mind say, yes, I'll do this. I don't want any of that because it's so funny. You know, I take my job and like my ADHD kicks in. It's like, oh, I got to get this work done. I got to get it done so quick and blah, blah, blah. Cause that's goals for myself.
You get that the hyper focus, that hyper fixation.
I so focus in. I take 0 lunches and I take like 2 5-minute breaks all day long. And people take a lunch. I'm like, well, I have to earn the lunch, right? Like I can't go to work for 3 hours and take a lunch and then work. Like I'd much rather work for 4 hours, not take any breaks at all, and get the fuck home. I'm cracking a cold beer by like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you guys are still dicking around on a job site, and I completed all that. And like, come on, man. Like I am super competitive with myself. I'm not competitive with other people because I don't give a shit. I give a shit about how I hold myself up to a standard. And it's like, it's like I push myself I can go. And I think that's done me well because I've been self-competitive and not like people. And you know, because if I'm people competitive, I'm always comparing myself to you and how can I do better to you. I'm more hyper focused on me. I've carried myself and my family to a percentage of the Americans that make my kind of money is a number, right? We're getting into like the single digit numbers. And I do that, and I did that because I have no desire to be competitive with another person because that other person doesn't live my bills, doesn't have my wife, doesn't have my kids, and I need to focus on me and making sure I do the best I can do for benefits myself and inevitably the customer first, right? Like that's what's on is how good I can be for the customer, and then all that benefit comes back on me. And he's just over here with his little clickies.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was checking an email. Not an email, but a message from somebody. I didn't know Connor stepped away.
Sorry. Wife brought me some dinner.
Oh, what did she bring you?
Blackened chicken tenders with blackened ranch. And I'm fucking. It smells so good.
Why is it blackened? Does it mean
it's like, how would you describe blackened seasoning?
Like I know, like blackened catfish.
It's
dude. I'm glad you're saying it because I have no clue what blackened chicken tenders are.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, but like instead of like grilling it, it's deep fried with batter. And it's chicken
tenders with no breading on it. You're just frying just the sheer meat.
No. You bread it. That looks kind of terrible, doesn't it?
It looks like a flaccid chicken tender.
Stroke that guy.
But I mean, it's just like blackened catfish, Blaze. It's just chicken tenders, but the batter or the whatever you want to call it, it has the blackened seasoning in it. And then blackened ranch is just ranch with the blackened seasoning in the ranch.
Oh, okay.
Blackened seasoning is. Huh.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like a spicy, almost Cajun, but not as like chili pepper.
It sounds like something like blackened catfish.
I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna have to look this up. But she's not cooking it any longer. It's the seasoning, right?
No. It's the seasoning, correct. But I'm looking for. I haven't had these yet. She hasn't made these before, so I'm excited for them. Speaking of,
very interesting.
Benji brought up a good point. He felt like he feels like he has to bust his ass and earn that ice cold beer, and it tastes so much better when you fucking earn it, doesn't it?
I think a free beer tastes as good as a worked for beer.
But that's going to roll into tonight's topic, which we will get to when we come back from break. I'm going to take a little breaky poo so I can eat my food. And it's about that time anyhow. We're going to talk about stopping and smelling the roses. When you've been busting your ass, them roses smell real damn good, but you got to remember to stop and smell them. Benji seems like he's really fucking good at that shit. I'm not. So we're going to talk about it when we come back. We're going to have a good old conversation. It is an open panel. We're going to drop that link one more time for you guys. Make sure you have your camera on if you do hop in, and we're going to ask to see like 2 fingers or something like that from you. And we'd love to have y'all join in the conversation. So we will be right back.
Not the winky.
Yeah, exactly.
Fingers, not the
if you
winky.
do that with your fingers,
Hmm.
who cares? But here is James Luker, Counting My Days. We'll be right back.
I say no one's reaching to save my life, so give me one good reason to not say goodbye. Oh no, think I lost my way, think I lost my way. I get the thoughts to kill my pain, down all these pills to take it away. Oh no, think I count my days.
Oh. Hey, we are back from break, and Connor and Benji are still on break. So I will go ahead and roll into another song. Sorry about that. know Connor has a topic lined up, and I don't want to get off the course of that. So here is Nate's Morn.
Found you when your heart was broke. I filled your cup until it overflowed. Took it so far to keep it close. I was afraid to leave you on your own. I said I'd catch you if you fall, and if they left, then fuck them all. And then I got you off your knees, push you right back on your feet, just so you can take advantage of me. And tell me how's it feel sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there, name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely? Thinking you can live without me, thinking you can live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why, I don't know why. Thinking you can live without me, live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why, I don't know why. Gave love about 100 tries, just running from the demons in your mind. Then I took yours and made them mine. I didn't notice cause my love was blind. I said I'd catch you if you fall, and if they left, then fuck them all. And then I got you off your knees, push you right back on your feet, just so you can take advantage of me. And tell me how's it feel sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there, name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely? Thinking you can live without me, thinking you can live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why, I don't know why. Thinking you can live without me, live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why, I don't know why. You don't have to say just what you did, I already know. I had to go and find out from them. So tell me how's it feel, yeah. And tell me how's it feel sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there, a name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely? Thinking you can live without me, thinking you can live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why, I don't know why. Thinking you can live without me, live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why, I don't know why.
Ooh,
All right.
man.
That was a double feature song break right there.
Had a little food break there. I was finished way before that first song was done, but I had to take my plate downstairs, put it in the sink so that I can wash it later. My wife goes, "Hey, do you want some more?" I'm like, I'm not gonna say no.
Well, Yeah,
But
why the hell not?
welcome on back. It is Monday night. This is the Men Caring for Men show on the Nonsensical Network. Blaze, tell them what they can find and where they can find us.
They can find us. Well, go to BioLink and you can find us all there. I'm trying to find the banner. Leave me alone. There you go. Connor had it.
Bio.link/nonsensical network.
Yeah, I don't have that shit memorized. I do know I need to update it with our Discord. Other than that,
I'll be honest. I'm such a bad host / co-host / member of this network because I don't even have to log into half this shit. It's always like, what do you mean? It's this. I'm like, well, I constantly
please,
forget.
don't forget to go check out our merch on the spreadshot.com site, nonsensical-nonsense.myspreadshot.com. Get one of these cool little fucking hats just for yourself.
And spread us on you.
Spread us on you.
That's such a good saying.
I need to get Jeff. I need to get a soundbite of Jeff doing. He says it the creepiest.
He does. Spread us on you.
With some mustard.
But welcome on back, guys. It doesn't look like we got a whole lot of listeners right now, but we're gonna keep on going with the conversation. We were talking about stopping and smelling the roses or the flowers or what have you in your life. And obviously that is a metaphor. Although if you enjoy smelling flowers, you might want to stop and smell some actual flowers.
Sure.
Blaze, I'm going to start by asking you a question.
Yeah.
Those flowers in your life, what are they for you?
They are a nice little escape from the mundane. Kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I use weed to escape reality sometimes. I use it for other things too. But yeah, it's the flowers I stop and smell. But not just weed. I love doing nature walks and stopping and just not so much smelling the flowers, but just taking it all in and looking in through the trees and seeing something different every time.
You're lucky it's a Monday night.
Why is that?
Nothing. Just I'm glad that you like to take it all in. Every last bit.
Fair enough. I didn't even catch myself doing that.
But everybody's flowers are different, man. I knew that one of your flowers was weed, and that's an actual flower too.
Yeah,
it's kind of
that
pretty
is
cool.
a flower. Very botanical.
Benji looks like he's eating over there, so we'll let him do that. No, you're good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm eating and participating.
Yeah. What are your flowers in life, man?
Man, my flowers is probably cars, right? Cars,
Yeah.
and probably non-flower is the cigar. Like that, crack open the humidor and then fire it up. But not to an actual flower would be going out and having a walk, right? Slowing it down and to where I can kind of think of one thing at a time. Kind of think about a stressful situation, try to work ahead, or just getting a little bit of exercise, releasing some endorphins. Because I really focused heavily on work, and kind of the walking, man, is kind of much with my wife. It's still like mine and her time. We're able to just communicate as husband and wife, and not tied in or kids tied in. We get to kind of goof around, flirt, be kind of playful with one another. Her and I time. Walking is so underrated for people who, like, you guys have no clue how good it is if you do not walk. It is amazing. It has probably almost nothing to do with the walking if you're with someone. It is just we're just going and we're communicating with human beings.
Fair.
Yeah, you get the you and her time, man. I don't know if you have kids or not, but God damn, I get you. Jesus, I mean, my goodness, that's a good number. I stopped at 3. I can't have any more, thank God. So you've got 2 and she had 3, and then you guys had okay. That makes you a little more sane. But not that there's anything wrong with people who have 5 kids. Go forth and multiply and all the things. I don't care that they're bad for the environment. They're good for the people. Yeah, man, dude, I've got 3 kids, and to have that one-on-one time with my wife, and I mean, my mother-in-law will come over and she'll be like, just go on a dinner date. I don't care what you guys go do, but go do something just you and Nikki. and we'll go, and I mean, we'll go for a hike, we'll go for a walk through one of the nature paths. Excuse me, one of the nature paths that's around here, or we'll go out to Top Golf, which I haven't done in a while. But we find something to do to get away from the chaos of the kids and be us, and be that couple that 9 years ago started dating. I don't know that I really remember how to flirt anymore. I'm just like, hey, boobs. And that's the extent of my flirting. But it's good to have that one-on-one time without, hey, dad, hey, mom, can I have a snack? Can I do this? Can I do that? But Jesus. Yeah. And that's pretty much my flowers too, man, is like Blaze said, and Benji said, is those nature walks, going out. I love to hike. Back before my back took an absolute shit.
Yeah.
I used to go climbing the mountains out in New Mexico, and I absolutely love doing that. I'd do it every other weekend. And I'd go out there with a couple of buddies, and I'd just forget about everything about life. I would just stop and look at how beautiful the world is and can be. And it's like step back. It's almost like, you're seeing the pictures of the dudes on the moon looking back at Earth, and they're like, God damn, we are so small. All these fucking problems that I have are so small, and everything is so beautiful, and we just fucking forget it because there's so much chaos going on in the world.
So
Yeah, agree.
that saying, "Stop and smell the roses," I think that has something to do with it. Stopping and de-stressing and taking in something that's more joyful than stressful. But I think it's also sort of like, not so much a virtue, but something, hey, be patient. Life, even though life's coming at you like 100 miles an hour, just be patient. You'll get there when you need to.
Yep.
Take those three of us, and we all mentioned going into nature, doing things that are more one-on-one, right? And what you just said is slowing down. I mean, that's exactly what we're reverting. Like mentally, biologically, is saying this is what you need to do to kind of have a small reset. It's trying to take the chaos and all the noise down to one, and kind of in, so we can kind of just get a little bit of a mental reset. And it seems like all of us, reverted back to nature. And I mean, you have to take that back to, that's where we is nature, and getting centered again.
Yes. And you know what? I think you're right. I think default wise, I think a lot of us do go to nature, but you can do it while you're sitting there watching a TV show or a movie, instead of like playing around on your phone. Sit down, pay attention to what you're watching, listen to the words, the written words being spoken, and the way the scene is set up in the movie, how things are placed in the background. Just soak it in and pay attention, and don't get distracted by stuff on the peripheral. So
that's one thing that I try to do that like once a week with my family. And it's hard because, family of five, and I love my kids, but they can get annoying. So it's hard to tell them to turn. I try and have everybody turn off all the electronics. Put your phone tell my wife, put her phone in her pocket. I put my phone in my pocket. I'm not getting it out unless somebody calls me and someone's dying. Turn the TV off, turn the video games off. Let's just be a family for a little bit. Let's just enjoy each other, because my kids aren't going to be this age again. And I'm not going to be in this phase of my marriage with my wife again. This is eventually going to phase out into something new, and I'm not going to be able to turn back time to it. So let's stop and let's enjoy it. And so it doesn't have to be nature. Nature is just a great way to do that, in my opinion. I just fucking love nature. Everybody's different. Different strokes for different folks.
Feel smaller, right? At the end of the day, because there's so much going on in nature, and it's just like step back and take a look at all of nature that's going on around you. And I agree with you with your phone. Walk with my wife or anything, the very first thing I do is make sure I don't have my phone on me. I immediately house. Like I want no part of a distraction when I am with her and I enjoy with her. And and for so many people, that's the first thing they grab, and I'm just like, damn, but man, you're missing of kind of disconnecting and just getting that quick little reset of, you know what,
Hmm.
I get back, I'm going to have 5 text messages and 2 missed calls. Well, you're going to have
Yeah.
that same amount whether you have or you don't. So might as well just you're going to get to it. You're going to get to it. Slow down.
Yeah.
It's a-okay, man. It is
Live
a-okay.
live in the present. Don't dwell on the past, and don't freak out over the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it is that taking a step back and realizing that your problems are significantly smaller than they seem. And I use that example of, like, you know, the moon landing and everything, or conspiracy theorists to say otherwise, but, you know, getting to the ability to step back and see that the world is so much bigger than what you see on a day-to-day basis. And when I go
Yeah.
walking in, like, the woods and stuff, I get to see animals. I get to see trees. I get to see that there's other life out there than what I see on a everyday basis. There's more out there than just me, my wife, and my
What
kids.
did I just do?
And I don't know, what the fuck did you just do, man?
I don't know, man. You guys, my stream, y'all are all, the whole screen is black.
I can still hear and see you, so I think it's just your laptop then.
Definitely my laptop.
Yeah, I don't think that's an internet thing, buddy. I think that your laptop may have had a stray beer spilled on it, or maybe a
No,
weed cigarette put out on it.
I don't know.
Well, Bible is, but I mean that's the whole point of it, though, is to stop, take a step back, and yes, de-stress and find that mental and emotional equilibrium. But the objective is also to say you're not the only fucking thing on this earth. Your problems are not the only thing going on in life, and life will continue to go on with or without you. If you don't stop and slow down and realize that, then it's all gonna fucking pass you right by.
Man, I couldn't agree more. So my favorite thing to do is when I'm out, because I lived on the coast and I live here in Raleigh. And fortunately for myself, I live near a pretty cool pond here. And when I lived on the coast, I had a lot and things like that. The one thing that always kind of stopped me in my track, and I just kind of second, was always watching the fish under the water. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's completely tranquil, just doing their thing, living in their whole entire different world than me. And it's just stopping and it's kind of like just looking at them. And it's just like, man, they just have no clue of the world up here. And it's like, that's pretty neat. And you just kind of on, happy in your head. And it's like, good for those guys. They don't have to deal with bills and nothing like that. They just like that's what I like to do, is just look at the the waterfowl that deal with with the water. Man, is always, I'm not a water guy, like I don't like swimming or anything like that, but going in and doing anything, the water creatures, it's an entirely different world.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a part of it at all. Like they have the whole nother thing going on, and it's like just stopping and just looking at them, very tranquil to me.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you can see that there's a whole part of this world that you're also in that doesn't know and or care about your existence and your fucking problems.
Boy, they
If
don't care.
It makes you feel so much smaller. Not that you're less important, but you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're less important than you think you are. These problems are less important than you think they are.
Those problems are only your problem.
Exactly.
And most of the problems, really, honestly, if you break it down, most of the problems most of the time are just right now problems, right? They're not catastrophic, God, blah, blah, blah. They're just right now issues for that day.
Well, I don't.
And
Okay, at the same time, I don't want to devalue problems. I mean, existing material problems people have that are quite consequential to the impact of their well-being. I mean, I mean, like, cancer's a real fucking problem, and I'm not going to sit there and devalue. You know what I mean? There's,
Sure,
mean,
sure.
yeah.
Trying to think of like general, right?
Mm.
Like generally, most people don't have cancer. And it's
True.
like, oh, what are we gonna have for dinner? And people are like, oh, you know, or are stressed about, I don't have dinner. You know, it's just like it's a lot of stuff is just like right now problems. Oh, I need to go get gas in my car. I don't feel like stopping.
Mhm.
You know, it's things like
Mhm.
that. It's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
more going for. Nothing more like fucking cancer. He hits us with cancer.
Right. Well, I mean, that brings up, I mean,
Baxter.
another point.
Well, sometimes if you speak too much in generalities, I think some things can get overlost, and it seems more devaluing of non-general. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm moving past it.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I completely
you
get
can
you,
try
boys.
and move past it all you want. I'm going to play off of it because the other hand of that stop and smell the roses is, hey, you only have so long.
Yeah.
And if you forget to slow down and, like I said before, enjoy the little things in life and realize that there are good things going on. I mean, I could be hit by a fucking bus tomorrow morning. Have nothing to do with fucking cancer. You don't know how much time you have left. And if you spend what little time you do have, because everybody's mortal that we know of,
Mhm.
fucking worried about your problems and the issues and this, that, and the other. I mean, one of my favorite songs of all time is "Live Like You Were Dying."
Yeah.
Well,
Enjoy it.
but
Enjoy those
but
things.
we start dying the moment we're born.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
So no, I really like that what you just went into right there, because I always live each day, and I always tell grateful and thankful for everything I have, every single day. Right, I take nothing for granted. I've done everything I can to put my best foot forward. I have no regrets, and it's just if I died today, I'm good, right?
Mhm.
I've been productive. I've been a great husband. I've been a great dad. I've did everything I was supposed to do, you know, for them. I mean, I'm human. There's slip ups here and there,
Mhm.
and you know, and I try to take the time with my wife and with my kids, and I take the time to do the text message and the phone calls and blah blah blah. It's all about trying to balance everything.
Yeah.
And trying to, you know, try as much as possible. Of course, you're always going to slip somewhere, but if you try to do it like a balance, or if you feel personally that is a balance to you, man, I think that's.
You think that's what now?
I think you try to figure out what is a balance to you, being able to give yourself out and being able to receive, creating that balance with, you know, like with your loved ones and what makes you you. Because work, I'm really into my work, right? Because not only do I make
Mhm.
good money, but I'm able to help families out because I deal with the mold sick. So I feel like I'm giving back to them, and once I give to them, then I just happen to check, which is awesome because I'm not dealing with just one person. I'm dealing with husband, wife, kids, dogs, everything that breathes in the house. And it's like, man, it makes me feel really good. I just happen to be really good at a job that gives me a paycheck, nice, and I'm able to
Yeah.
help families out. And then I get to come home and I get to hang out with my wife and, you know, blah 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 kids. And then I don't have young kids like you do, Connor.
Yeah.
Our youngest is 16. So the one that's 17 getting ready to turn 18 in June, I've already started teaching them how to do this, entering into a different phase of young adulthood with them. So I'm able to kind of pass some of my skills on to them. I try to create as much of a balance as possible to feel like a more balanced me.
Mhm.
Because you know, because I didn't feel very balanced before when I was called up in a warehouse. I wasn't happy. You know, I felt like walls were closing in on me. I didn't feel like I could be the best version of me, blah blah blah. And then when I got out in the world, when I got out and into the world, I can go to different places and things. That's when I felt like I become a better version of me because
Right.
I'm just an outside. I live in I don't mind saying it. I'm not bragging here, but I don't mind saying it. I live in almost a half, it's like 3,000 square foot. I literally use about 1,000 square foot of this. I have no desire. I don't like big houses. I don't like any of this stuff. I could live in a camper, right? My
Mhm.
wife like don't. I'm in my garage right now. I come home. I walk
I'm
through
the
the front door,
same
kiss my wife
fucking
on the head,
way.
pet my dog.
I am the same
Outside
fucking
makes
way.
me happy.
I've often
What's
thought about
that?
just getting. I said I'm the same way, and I've often thought about getting one of those like short buses. Haha, you can clip that later,
That's a
and
regular bus.
turn it
Love it,
into
man.
turn into like a little home on wheels. You know what I mean? Like a little
Dude, I
custom
love it,
RV
man.
just for me,
Yeah, dude.
somewhere I
The
can plug
van.
in. Huh?
Have you seen the van like RVs or like the people that turn vans like the Ford Transits and shit into their home? They put like a Coleman in the back and they got a bed in the
Yeah,
back, and that's all they do is they drive around and they live. I don't
yeah.
know how the
I,
fuck they make money, but that shit's fucking cool.
see,
I love
I could live in a van. I need a little bit more square footage now. I got 3 dogs, right? You give me let's say you give me 800 square foot. I need one bathroom, a cook, and a place to sit. Dude, I'm good. I need
Mhm.
nothing else. But give me 10 acres. I want a house that can fit on a postage stamp, but give me tons of acres. I want play toys.
it. Exactly.
That's where I'm happy at. But you get people like right? My son will take a 1 bedroom house and he would literally live in it all the time. He wants to play video games. He wants a computer. Like he wants to live indoors. Complete opposite personality as me. But we all just
Yeah.
have to figure out what makes us and create that balance in our life. And we'll go so much further to people once we figure out what makes us happy. Right?
Yeah. It's finding that
Took me a
thing
while
that
to figure it out.
it's finding that thing that makes you take a breath and take a moment, whether it's video games, which is a big thing, or whether it's, I don't give a fuck if it's watching TikTok. I think watching TikToks all night is fucking toxic, but to some people, that's their fucking thing. That's what gets them to step back and take a breath and realize that everything's chill, even though sometimes it's not.
Fucking
Everything's
shit.
not chill sometimes. Like Blaze said, I'm not generalizing. I'm not, you know,
Oh, I know that.
importanting your problems and your issues and your crises, but whatever can get you to take a step back and relax and breathe and realize that there's more to life than just the chaos and the problems is what you need to find and do. I don't know, once a week, once a day, whenever you can get the chance and you have that time to spend on taking that breath, fucking do it. And if you don't know what it is, start exploring those ideas, man. And my wife is
I
the
completely
opposite.
agree with that.
My wife is the opposite of me when it comes to houses. I'm a lot like you, Benji. I want a house is like I would be cool with like 1,000 to 1,500 square feet, enough space for my kids to come visit me, and then I want like 100 acres. The coolest thing that I would want is like 100 acres in a forest, and I want to put a sign out front that says the 100-acre woods because I'm a big Winnie the Pooh fan. I'm a nerd, but like that's what I want because
I love it.
I want the space to go outside on the weekend by myself on my own property that I own, do what I want, play with my toys, shoot guns, camp with my kids, camp with my grandkids someday, or by myself. I told my wife the other day because I was losing my mind. I was like, I'm just going to go out in the woods of West Virginia. I'm going to hang out with the skinwalkers and I'm going to get lost for a week and I'll be back. Like, I don't care. Because that's to me, that's how I take a breath. And my wife just looked at me like, you're fucking insane. Because to her, her taking a breath is sitting down on the couch, doing nothing, or reading, or taking a nap, for God's sake. I mean, some people just don't have time to do anything outside of their problems because they're so focused on their problems. And it's figuring out what that is.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes going out and that you need man, really brings clarity mentally to you so you can figure out what you just could for. And fortunately, I have a job to where I really am, I'm out and outdoors kind of guy. Doesn't mean I'm
Yeah.
outdoors like complete literate, everything about outdoors.
Right.
But nature is me, right? And I'm a pretty happy freaking dude, like all the time. I'm super go with the flow and stuff. And fortunately, I figured it out in my late 20s. I was like, man, this is because I probably had 15, 10 years. And when I figured out I got into crawl space work, I've had one job in the exact same amount of time. It changed everything because I got more of what made me happy. I just happened to make some money doing it too.
Mhm.
And it's like, and I come home, I'm a better husband, I'm a better Benji.
When you have that in your life, it's I'm gonna try not to hate on myself too much because I don't like doing the whole self-deprecating thing. But like since I've gotten out of the military, I've realized that I am not my best self more than half the time. And it's because I lost what I had a passion for. I lost
Yeah.
what maybe, I don't know that it brought me peace so much as it was something that I enjoyed that I could go do every day and forget about the stressors of everything else. Obviously, it came with its own, but it was something that I enjoyed and that I loved. And when I got out and I went from being, a certain person and a certain type of way to being, I'm at home with my kids all day. I see the same four walls, go pick the kids back up, and then do the same shit every single day in those four walls. I almost, I don't want to say I became bitter, but it's hard to be a happy and your best version of yourself, like Benji said, if you're not doing what you enjoy. If you
Let me
can't
ask you
find that
a question, man.
equilibrium, what's up?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Why not try to work at like a gun range?
So I thought about doing that. That arises with its own problems, but for me personally, but for me, public safety is what I want to move into because it's one of those things that I feel like I have some form of purpose.
Mhm.
Purpose is big to me. I like feeling like I make some form of a difference, and I know that it doesn't seem like that, especially from the outside looking in sometimes. But when I worked at Abercrombie, we had a first aid call, quote unquote first aid call. This lady was out on the floor. We were working at the distribution center, and this lady was out on the floor, and she said her chest hurt and all this, that, and the other. I was like, well, let's bring you back here. And I got her on the vitals, and her fucking heart rate was ridiculous. Her blood pressure was like 180 over 160. And I'm like, all right, just call the fucking squad. You're going to the hospital, whether you like it or not. And
Yeah.
they got there and she came back, and it was the amount of, she was grateful. And I felt like I made a difference in her life for that day. Whether she remembers it now, I don't know, nor do I care. But that in that moment, I knew I made a difference in her day and her life for that moment. So that's a big thing for me to feel like I'm whole, to get that equilibrium, is to feel like I'm doing something that makes a difference in somebody's life. So that's why I focus on public safety.
I really like that. I mean, that's what I do, right? Like I work on problems that cause issues to people, and I live in doing that, and I'm grateful and thankful for that. So I completely get it. Doesn't matter if you worked at Abercrombie. That doesn't make a difference at all. You got to try to maybe figure out some stuff that you maybe not get 100% of that, but maybe try to that is fun that you like to get into. I don't know. Maybe it's working at an army surplus that you know about all this stuff. You know what I mean? It could be something like, I know all about this stuff. I educate you about all this, and this makes me happy.
That's the way. When I worked as a bud tender, that was fulfilling. As a bud tender, working in a dispensary.
Oh,
That
I
was
thought
so
it was
fulfilling.
BUTT.
That's what I heard too,
Oh,
man. I
no,
was like, the
bud,
fuck is a
bud.
butt tender?
A
He just
bud
goes in
tender.
there and fluffs the pillow before the
Oh,
prostate exam.
but dealing
Yeah.
with those customers, like those older people that's getting back into it, or they're scared, or they've never dealt with it, like them coming in and me being in that wealth of knowledge to, to pass on, it was like, this is the, use this if this is what you're looking for, use this if, and the difference between a terpene and a flavoroid, and like the difference between sativa and indica and hybrid, and what's, just like all that stuff. And it felt good to teach somebody that stuff. That way their experience in cannabis isn't this scary thing because they've taken this edible and they've rocked their mind so hard that they're scared, because that happens. So
Have you thought about that, Connor? Going in, you're just knowledgeable about, and you don't even realize that maybe that would make you happy.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I roll into public safety. Is, I mean, I call it public safety, but it's quote unquote security work and public safety administration and emergency response management, and that's the field that I want to get into, because that's what I've done for the last 9 years, but solely on a military level. Everything was about security for the base that I'm at, first aid for the guys that I'm working with, teaching classes to the guys. I love teaching classes to guys because I love watching them learn and then grow into more knowledgeable soldiers and more knowledgeable airmen when I worked in the Air Force. It's having the ability to do that and see the difference that I make. And one, I'm knowledgeable about it, and two, I just love it. I love being able to talk to people and have no pressure on me to do anything other than help them.
Hey, Connor, what's your age?
I'm 27.
We said, man, you're a young guy. You're a
I
young
know.
guy.
I hang out at the fucking nursing home on this show, dude. Every damn week. I can't tell if Benji's frozen or if he's just flabbergasted. I don't know what's going on.
I think he's frozen.
I think so.
I know. I know he does it from his mobile, and it'll do that sometimes. It's like
Homeboy
when it's
didn't
going
plug his
dead or
phone in.
something.
You dumb.
Yeah. Well, I can freeze my screen. I can just do this right here, and then just like pause my XSplit, and then it just freezes me.
See, I'm kind of like Drax. I just sit here and I try and hold as still as I can. If I move slowly enough, I'm invisible.
Yeah, his phone died.
Yeah. But yeah, everything. To be fair, while I was in the Air Force,
the doorknob.
Ding dong, plug her in. While I was in the Air Force, I was in the Air National Guard. So, and I was a traditional guardsman. Granted, I tried my best to go out there as often as I could because I really enjoyed it. But I went
Benji.
I went through 9 jobs in 6 years, trying to find what I enjoyed and what I was good at and what made me feel that little bit of happiness while I was making money. I mean, I worked at a junkyard. I worked at McDonald's. I worked in I worked in glass repair, where I worked at Safe Light, and then I worked at Glass Doctor, and then I worked because I was just trying to make money, I worked for Chase. I worked for a fucking trash company, and then I worked at Abercrombie. And while I was working at Abercrombie, I was like, oh fuck, because it was such a chill job. And like 80 to 90% of the time, you really didn't do anything other than write stuff on a piece of paper and look at cameras all day. But that 10 to 20% of the time where you had somebody's injured, there's been an accident with a forklift, there's somebody's causing a ruckus in a place that they shouldn't be, and one of your coworkers, one of the people you're trying to keep safe, is having an issue because a trucker's being an asshole to them or they're threatening them. And I get to go in and make a difference. And I was like, it was like this paradigm shift in my brain where I was like, that's what I love, is seeing the problem, being able to fix it, knowing how to de-escalate, knowing how to perform the first aid or set up the precursors to a security problem. And I realized that was what I enjoyed. And it was like, oh, fuck. Light switch.
You like being a protector.
It's so dumb and nerdy and cliche and shit, but I do.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not saying in a negative way, but just like somebody wants to become a cop for the good reasons.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to become a cop.
Well,
I have to say that because there's bad reasons too.
I would hate to be a cop today. I really would. And I've been trying to poke and prod and convince my wife since the moment I got out, and I couldn't even work. I was like, when I'm better, I think I'm going to apply for the job over at the fire station that's out here. And she was like, I think you would love it, but I'm tired of you doing dangerous jobs. You're done.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out a different way to do it. But like I said, I mean, before, it's finding that thing that makes you calm despite the chaos. But shit, I'm running out of things to say here, and we lost Benji.
I think we pretty much covered this topic, man. It's it's well over an hour and a half. So I mean, I'm okay with cutting short. So
yeah, I think this is about standard. We usually go between an hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes a little over 2 hours, sometimes less. So it's not a big deal, but I think we had a really good conversation tonight. And I got to hang out with Benji. I never get to hang out with Benji. So
it was good to see Benji up here.
Thank you for joining us. For the listeners who did, again, Monday nights are an open panel. So next Monday, if you're here and you want to join in the conversation, please do so. We always drop a link in the comments. Scroll through there, figure it out. Or if you want to join and you don't see that link, give us a shout in the comments. We'll drop it again. Find us over at bio.link/nonsensical nonsense. Nonsensical network, excuse me. It's been months and I'm still getting used to that change. We are on every social media platform, Twitter, or Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all the things, and Instagram. We stream everything on YouTube. Come check us out. Blaze, tell us about that shop that we have online.
Yes, it is nonsensical nonsense at I can never remember it's nonsensical nonsense.myspreadshot.com. Grab some of our merch. Like I said earlier, winter's coming up, hoodies are always in style this time of season. Get your hats, and I'm going to pressure the powers to be to get us some beanies. I want a beanie.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
All righty, folks. Well, Blaze, before we roll out and play this final song of the night, do you have any closing words for us? Some words of wisdom? Drop some knowledge on the folks out here.
Ooh, I really didn't have anything prepared. It was kind of an impromptu come up here, but I guess going on the topic at hand, guys, just slow down. Again, live in the present, not in the past, and don't freak out over the future.
Yeah, man. Well, like we've been saying for most of this second half of the episode, you only get so much time in your life. Figure out what makes you happy and realize that your problems, even though, again, some problems are big, they're just a short part of your life. And if you can't focus on something other than your problems, it's going to be really difficult and you're going to have regrets when you're on your deathbed. So do your best to find that thing that brings you happiness, that lets you take a breath and forget about those issues. Y'all have a wonderful night. We're going to play this song here. We got Zay Grassley with Campfire Cologne. We will see y'all tomorrow night with what's tomorrow night? Glick's
Tuesday, Glick's House of Music, and I'm not sure if he has a guest for tomorrow.
All righty. Y'all have a good night.
I know they don't want me to make it. They don't want me. stomping around. Hallelujah, jump for joy, this is just the southern way. Mason shine jars filled up with that southern grape. Oh, I've been down this road before. Oh, I don't know which way to go. Don't get confused, little boy, they'll use you up. This thing they callin' love, they'll misplace your trust. Long dirt roads and I can't find my way home. Cold blood lies and lonely stone the nights with two wheels in the moon. So grab your biz and come on. This that campfire cologne. I know they don't want me to make it. They don't want me. They don't want me. They don't want me to make it. They don't want me to make it. I know they don't want me to make it. They don't want me. They don't want me. They don't want me to make it. They don't want me to make it. Don't get confused, little boy. They'll use you up. This thing they callin' love, they'll misplace your trust. Long dirt roads and I can't find my way home. Cold blood lies and lonely stone the nights with two wheels in the moon. So grab your wheels and come on. This that campfire cologne. So grab your wheels and come on. This that campfire cologne.